Now there are two girsos. One girsa is the Rashbam's girsa. We don't have Rashi on this parak, but he has Arvei Pesachim. Tosas has Erev Pesachim. And the reason why he has Erev Pesachim, it means Erev Sheshochtim Bo Pesachim. On the 14th of Nisan, when we shecht all the Pesachim, or perhaps he says Inami Erev Pesach, Shal Rishon V'Sheni, of the first Korban Pesach or the second Korban Pesach. Samach LeMincha Lo Yochal. And the Gemara is going to have a whole discussion about what Samach LeMincha is. And the assumption is that Samach LeMincha means Mincha Ketana, which is a little bit later on in the day. Lo Yochal Adam Achetecha. A person should not be eating at that time. He should sort of fast. In order that he should eat, the Rashbam says, matzah l'te'oven. He should have a real gusto and a real desire to eat matzah. Afilu onishe b'Yisrael lo yochal ad sheyesef. And even a poor person should not eat until he's ready to begin the Seder and to do what's called Heseva, which is, of course, a derech cherus, and lo yifchasu lo me'arba kosa shel yayin. They should make sure that he has 4 cups of wine. Afilu min hatamchui. The tamchui is what we call a soup kitchen, and we should take money out of the soup kitchen, which is really designated for basic food that a person needs, and we should use that money for dalit kosos. So the Gemara says, "My area arvei pesachim." Why does the Mishnah teach me that you're not allowed to eat on Erev Pesach, as if to say it's a special halacha in Erev Pesach? Afilu arvei Shabbosos v'yomim tovim nami. Even on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yontif, every Erev Pesach, you're not allowed to eat. You have to abstain from eating on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yontif. How do I know this? The Sanya. Lo yochal adam be'arvei Shabbos v'yomim tov min ha'mincha l'mayla. From the time of Mincha, we don't eat on Erev Yontif or an Erev Shabbos, because they should according to the Shabbos true taiva. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. So that a person should have an appetite when he enters into Shabbos or Yontif. He shouldn't be full on Erev Shabbos, Erev Yontif. Rabbi Yossi Omer ochel v'holech ad shetechshach. Rabbi Yossi allows you to continue eating even until it gets dark. And if we assume that our Mishnah can be reconciled with Rabbi Yehuda, then why does the Mishnah designate Arvei Pesachim when this halacha applies every Erev Shabbos, every Erev Yontif? Rav Huda lo tzricha le Rabbi Yossi. Our Mishnah is authored by Rabbi Yossi. Di Omar ochel v'holech ad shetechshach. And the Mishnah is coming to tell us that Hani Mili B'Arvei Shabbos V'Yomim Tovim, that this only applies to Erev Shabbos and to Erev Yontif. You can continue eating until it gets dark, according to Rabbi Yossi. Will be Erev Pesach, Mishum Chiyuva de Matzah, because on Erev Pesach we have a special mitzvah of matzah. Therefore, Modeh, Rabbi Yossi is Modeh that a person should not eat from Mincha and on. So they'll be able to eat matzah l'teyavon. That's the interpretation of Huna. But Papa Amar, he wants to interpret that Mishnah Filu Temer Rabbi Yehuda. So now you'll ask me, why did our Mishnah have to designate Arvei Pesachim, the same halacha of Lo Yochal Adam, Samach LeMincha applies every Erev Yontif, every Erev Shabbos. Hasam B'Arvei Shabbos Yom Tovim, Min HaMincha L'Mala Hudi Asir, but Samach LeMincha Shari. From the time of Mincha, you enter into this period of time when you're not allowed to eat, but you don't have to add a half hour before Mincha. That's called Samach LeMincha. That's Mutter. But the Erev Pesach, I feel Samach LeMincha Nami Asur. With regard to Erev Pesach, where there's a special mitzvah of matzah, then you shouldn't even eat Samach LeMincha. That's the emphasis in our Mishnah. That means a half hour before Mincha, you have to stop eating. So the Gemara challenges Rav Papa, Upi Erev Shabbos Samach Lemincha Shari. Are you telling me that according to Rabbi Yehuda, a half hour before Mincha on Erev Shabbos you're allowed to eat? For Tanya, we have a price that says Lo Yochal Odom Erev Shabbos Yom Tov Mish Teisha Shos Ulamala. Deishi Konis LeShabbos Shu Taiva the Rabbi Yehuda. And then Rabbi Yossi Omer Ochel V'Holech Hachetecha. But we see clearly from Rabbi Yehuda in this brisa that the Easter starts already from Teisha Shos U Mechza. And that means a half hour before the time of Mincha. So once again, we're back to square one. What's the difference between our Mishnah in the case of Erev Pesach and every Shabbos and every Yom Tov, which already has an Easter of Achila on Samach LeMincha, which means Teisha Mechza. Mar Zutra. So Mar Zutra says, Man lemel under mitartzahi. Don't accept and don't rely on that brisa. Here we're on the top of Daf Kuf. Dilma mishabeshtahi. That brisa is totally unreliable. Okay, so this is where we're going to stop on the top of Daf Kuf.